So, welcome to another episode of Dietitian Life. Tyson and I are trying something new just for shits and gigs. Currently,
More because we have to, not because we want to.
No, not at all. So, I am sitting at home currently, and Tyson is also at home, but not his own. So,
In Central Coast.
yeah, distance, right? All good. So, how's your week been going, Tyson?
I don't think you've ever asked me that. Yeah, I don't think you have. Week has been good, busy. So Saturday I had team dinner and meeting with some exercise physiologists that we're working with, as well as a dietitian in Canberra. So had a bit of a shindig, tried to get people involved. A lot of them piked early. I ended up spending a lot of time and a long night with one of the owners of the organisations that we work with. So it was a good little bonding sesh. So
what time did you actually get home? Just putting it out
there. Yeah, 5:30 the a.m. The sun was up and coming up. When I saw that, when we got outside, I'm like, oh my God, not ideal. So yeah, woke up, had to quickly go get a rental car. That wasn't ideal. But yeah, when I woke up, I was like, I can't afford to stay out that late and have as many waters as I had, because then I'm not as productive the next day. So I felt very slow and sluggish, and my brain wasn't working, and it was really frustrating, and I had to get work done, and I couldn't get it done. And then I had to drive to Wagga. So it was 3.5 hours, whatever it was. So Wagga.
I believe you're missing like a somewhat epic event prior to that equally epic event.
Oh, as in like something that happened on the Saturday night. You can talk about that. So the rest of my week, so I went to Wagga, shadowed a practitioner, met a practitioner I hadn't met yet. So that was good. Got a little chat about how she's going, what's her life like, what her goals are, what we can do for her in the company, what she's finding difficult, all of that. It's a good chat. Then I went to Canberra the next day, that same day. Went back to Canberra, stayed there, shadowed the other practitioner in Canberra. Then trained it to the Central Coast, and then had the dinner with the practitioner last night. We're shadowing them tomorrow. Again, the first time I met that person in person. So just had some chats again about goals and how they're going and what they'd like to achieve.
So is there any commonality at all with some of the things that you were talking to?
No one knows what the fuck they want to do. No one really knows. Everyone's always says, oh, I'm happy with how things are. It'd be good to do this, but no one's really fervently like, I really want to. No one's really makes a full-on hard decision, and that can be difficult at times to know what you want to do without trying stuff. So I guess our job as managers, or my job when I meet them, is to try and tease that out a little bit more and then push them to go towards something. So whether or not they like it for a long time, but we at least try something rather than just hit the middle ground and paralysis by analysis. That's that metaphor or that saying I was trying to think of last week. So yeah, I'd rather just make a decision and go towards it, and then we can adapt and change. In terms of commonalities with other stuff, not really. Everyone's quite individual with what they like, what they enjoy, what managers they like, what they like about managers, what they like about the company, what they like about Peter, if Peter's the one managing them, or me, if I'm like, it's hard for them to tell me that they don't like me to me, but I'm sure they would. Some Peter probably would, but she likes me, so it's all good. And then work shadowing. So basically some of the key stuff that I wanted to talk about around shadowing was when clients don't do what they're meant to or don't do as you say, and how you go about that. And one of the common errors that we always see, we constantly have to reiterate, is that we say the dietitian needs to make a decision, but at the same time, the client needs to be involved at some point. If you constantly tried to give them recommendation after recommendation after recommendation and they're not doing it, even though they say they're going to, flip the script, as it were, and ask that client what they believe the issue is, what they believe they want to change. Like, both work. Like, we're very much hard into the do something, tell them what to do type thing. But on the other end, you still need to have that measured approach of, all right, so if it's not working based on what you know should work, maybe give them the opportunity. And then that not only gives them the opportunity to be involved, but also the opportunity for them to fail and you to say, hey, well, your way didn't work. How about we try mine? And a lot of the time, clients can get, they think they know what's going to work in their life better than you. And they probably should. So it's allowing them the opportunity to fail. And then you then pick up the pieces and then show them the light.
I think that's a massive point, and that I certainly work with clients in that space all the time, and I've got a number that I've worked with over a longer period of time, and giving them the opportunity to fail or at least have a go at it is really important from a teaching perspective, to give them that enabled feeling. So if you've done your job properly, if you get them to do something, obviously it's not going to be as good or the best recommendation, but you're giving them that opportunity to fail, but also to exceed your expectations. So often I will leave them with a passing thought, as it might be, all right, I want you to come up with a goal, and I want you to have it ready for me for next session. Because I feel like it's just been cruising a little bit, and that is absolutely fine. But then allowing that, knowing the client, and then giving them the G-up you need. And then lo and behold, the next session they're there. It might be that they've turned up with a meal plan. One of my clients I work with all the time is completely prescribed himself a meal plan and emailed it to me prior to, and then asked for my feedback on it, which is
a meal plan for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then we sat down and we identified what we thought might be the issues with that meal plan, be it inconsistencies with calories. And so some of the discussion then around that was, okay, so can you identify what meal choice or snack choice is actually highest in energy, which is lowest in energy? And then we spent that time as a learning activity. And for him, it was easy to actually identify some of those things that he knew had actually made a mistake. And a lot of the time he just threw them in there just to have a laugh. So that's all well and good, but you're getting them to do things, you're providing feedback. And then with that, it's active learning, and then they're more engaged. They can put fruitcake in there and you're happy with it being in there. They can put biscuits and alcohol or whatever. But they're more inclined to then follow through with that if you've been involved, but they've also been the generator of that. And then in terms of follow up on those points, give you another example, following week. How did that go? Oh, well, I actually had apple pie, 4 servings of it the night before seeing the dietitian. And I think as dietitians, we get really frustrated when we're sitting with clients and they do things that they know they actually probably shouldn't have done. But generally the way I would roll around with that is like, okay, so how many would have been okay to have? Oh, 1. So is there something you could have modified around having the apple pie with the cream on it to actually make it a little bit more appropriate to your goals? Yeah, I probably could have taken the pastry off and maybe not used cream. I probably should have used yogurt. I'm like, okay, so did you want to do that? No. I'm like, all right, sweet, cool. And then leave it alone. So ultimately it's picking your battles, making them capable and enabling them along the way, and then providing them the feedback that's necessary when they're ready to actually then make that decision. So I can guarantee that next time I'm there for that following appointment, he wouldn't have had apple pie the night before, and he's certainly going to be followed through with a lot more of those changes. So
who are you looking at right now?
I think it's just my screen. There we go. Maybe that's better. Maybe I'm just like sitting in the corner.
No, you're just like looking into the corner of a screen.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's my valuable feedback on the assessment of practitioners.
The other key thing was around that similar thing, but when you get frustrated by a client, trying to then motivate that client towards change or motivate that client to actually do something, to figure out what's wrong. And one of the pieces of advice that I gave someone this week was to, instead of trying to say things that, like, I don't know how they were actually trying to say it. They were basically saying they were frustrated without saying they were frustrated. I just said, well, why wouldn't you just tell them that you're frustrated? Just say, I'm really frustrated that we haven't been able to get that weight off that you really, really want off. Like, what do you see being the reason, versus trying to circumnavigate saying that you're frustrated because you feel like it's the wrong thing to say, to tell the client that you're frustrated. Or, but if you don't do that, some of your tone and pitch of your language can sometimes come off a bit aggressive or a bit angry, and that's going to be much worse off than if you just said, I'm really frustrated. And it's not like, hey, I'm frustrated with you. You don't do anything that I say. That's never going to go well. But it's saying, I'm frustrated that we haven't been able to get you the goals.
Is it because that you think that we think we have to perform or be a certain way or act a certain way in a professional context?
I don't know. Do you believe that is the case, that people believe that they can't say that they're frustrated because that's unprofessional to say that you're frustrated?
100%. It would be the same if you've got a client in there sitting there is not interested, really resistant, and ultimately I've said it, I've asked someone to leave, and it's like, okay, cool, sweet, we're done with this then, no worries, I'll see you next time. I think there's like a line that a lot of practitioners aren't willing to cross, and I think that allowing the personality to shine through only actually improves the consultation and the engagement of the client, instead of pretending to be somebody else and putting your dietitian hat on all the time. Human connection is the reason why we will continue as a profession, not the other way around. And so if you can't do that, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then you're not going to be able to maintain yourself and your client guaranteed long term. So the only reason they'll come back is because they want to see you. Particularly, if you're getting results, absolutely. But even still, they can probably go and find somebody else to get them results. So you really need to have them bought into you as a human as well. So I think you've got to let go of that pretending. I need to
be vulnerable. Be vulnerable.
Absolutely. Show that you're pissed off. Show that you're emotion within reason, obviously. Yeah. But that helps, just like they can be as well. If you've got a client sitting there and they're crying, which is a common occurrence in my room. I don't know why, but it is. Instead of trying to be all, just like, God, I understand this is crap. This is shit. Like, I get it. It's awful. Have you tried? Don't make them feel like they have to clear it all up and, oh, I'm sorry, and apologize. It really helps to obviously be there with them. So in all situations, whether it's frustration, whether it's being upset, all of the above. So, because if you can't engage, then 100%. See you later.
And it's the other end. Like, most people feel comfortable being super positive about results. So why are you not having the opposite? Like, just because you're voicing frustration doesn't mean that demotivates your client. You being real may actually open up the discourse for you to get a better relationship and then be more positive and motivational from that point. So something to be aware of. Other shit I did, a lot of contracts, doing that stuff, doing a bit of a can't really say task today.
What's the point of saying that?
I was going to start saying, I'm like, I can't say that. I'm not going to say it. But the other big thing is we released the Dietitian Life Scholarship yesterday. So you are now able to apply for the new scholarship for $2,500. There's a bunch of things that you need to do to be eligible. Please, please, please pay close attention to every single detail. Otherwise, you will be ineligible. We had a lot of people last year that applied that were ineligible because you missed a certain step. Make sure you follow every step. Double check it. Get someone else to check it. Do it. So it's open now. Apply. Go check out the Facebook posts. We're running it for the next 3.5 weeks. You don't have any uni anymore, so there's no excuse. Your semester's over, or it's about to be over at the end of this week. Get in and do it. And if you're not a member of the Lifers page, the dietitianlife.com.au/lifers, LIFERS, go to that page, sign up, because we're going to do top tips for applying for that scholarship, but only on that page. So
it will make or break whether you get it or not, guaranteed.
Yeah, it'll just be all of the things we'll be looking for, and it'll give you more of a leg up on the competition. So if you're watching this, you're already in a more of a winner's position. So be aware. It's announced.
Speaking of winners, I guarantee that most of you saw our post on Friday night for our big win.
Our big win.
Carson totally forgot about. I think he was trying to just block it out of his mind because his speech was amazing.
It's amazing. It was terrible.
He wanted to recall that event, like just replay it over and over again in his head. I actually have a really cool video of me filming the screen as our name came up, and I was doing lots of oh my god. I can probably actually play it here, but it would be a little bit embarrassing.
You got to send it to me. I haven't even seen it.
And then I lose it because I lose my shit to get up, and I didn't get the Do Your Life appearing up on the screen, which is a bit devo. But we've also got how many more awards this weekend, Tyson?
4.
Yeah.
4 more 2 possibilities.
Yeah. 2 awards nights on the same night, which is really hard, but it's given us the opportunity to share our awards, I suppose, and our success with people in our team, which is really nice to do. And certainly Sunny Coast is on point. We're going to have Tyson there, which is good. I'm excited about that. And then celebrating with everybody else from the team there. And then Brisbane is the Allied Health Awards, which Tyson is actually being nominated for, which is pretty exciting. Dietitian of the Year. Why aren't I there? Because I didn't apply. Damn. Next year.
Someone told you to apply, but you didn't.
Well, they gave up this year. Maybe next year. Halfway there. So who are you up against? Who are you up against for Dietitian of the Year?
I don't know everyone's names. I know one of them, Melanie McGrice, but most students may not know them. But everyone that's been out for a while will know who she is. Mainstay in the profession for many, 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 many years. I'm only an up-and-comer compared to that. So we'll see. But there's a few others in there that got good reps too. So who knows? Who knows?
Pretty likely chance, given our odds, that we actually are going to win another award this weekend. Tyson.
I don't know. Honestly, that's like the last one. I had no friggin' idea that we were just like, nah, not going to win that. And then obviously because of the whole shock, that's why my speech was so amazing, because I was not shocked. I was just like, oh, S's couch, whatever. It's horrible.
So, quick thought.
Yes.
Why should you and other dietitians apply for awards like this?
Okay. 1, rep. 2, like we're the only dietitians that featured in any of the awards that we went to. We're the only dietitian company out of everything, and certainly the only private practice. The only other person that I know of that's won an award is BeFit Food, and they're not really she's a dietitian, but it's a food company, not a dietetic company. So we're the only ones. So in terms of our profession, in terms of raising the profile of dietetics, like if we're not doing it, physios and other allied health are, like, why aren't dietitians?
Other non-nutrition professionals are there selling diets as well. So we, again, are just kind of burying our head in the sand, pretending like it's not happening, when companies like this that actually are not run by dietitians are winning awards. What the hell are we doing?
Yeah, and winning awards in our category. Like winning awards in a health category, or winning awards, I think they had well-being category, so it was slightly different to ours. But there was someone that won that we don't particularly agree with, and no dietitians would agree with, because it wasn't evidence-based, and it was, and it was run by people who weren't qualified. There was no qualification. They were just people that did it themselves, and then they just platformed that to then get more reach and more clients and investors. And if dietitians aren't a part of it, then we're just going to get further and further down the list of what people think about when they think about nutrition, if they need help in any area, not just weight management, but anything. So that's why. That's why. And so we invested quite a lot of money and time into going for them this year, so that try and raise the profile of us, but also dietetics. So
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest one. Is there any more? The reasons why you would?
Uh, it's just marketing. So it's just we've grown so quickly over a very short space of time. I was actually talking about it this morning, that we are the biggest, but no one freaking knows we're the biggest. No one knows. No one knows who the hell Fuel Your Life is outside of dietetics, and even in dietetics, and not everyone knows. So it's about getting noisy and getting loud and making people sit up and take notice that shit is happening, really. And then, and all the other previous mentioned, there's no other reason. Like, it's a good little feather in the cap, but it's not really about my personal thing. It's more about the rep of the business and the brand, and
which is equally as important as anything else. So,
if not more so.
Yeah.
What's your week? What's your week, Peter? What's it been like?
It's been good. Of course, always seeing clients, which is really good. Probably, navigating stuff from your end on, in admin, particularly around trying to G up staff, try and get them excited, trying to encourage them and give them a bit of enthusiasm, which includes bringing cakes and baked goods. It worked. Yes. So whatever it takes. Nothing too exciting, to be honest. If I was to say anything, it would be rather boring. So a lot of the time spent with you on the phone this week, just talking about next year and still trying to sort out and plan practitioners, because Dyson's had massive rants on Snapchat around selecting the right people for the right locations. And then from that, and actually getting people on board, trying to improve processes, identifying that we suck at so many processes and that the consistency is lacking. So for me, there's probably been a lot of self-reflection, because ultimately we have to be better than what we are currently doing. So Tyson and I have spoken a lot about that over the last week, and I've been struggling with it, like I was saying in last Dietitian Life, around how you can kind of let go of that and just move forward to be better just because you have to. And it may not be something that you're comfortable with, but I mean, life is not about being comfortable all the time. So it is just bringing it out, talking about it, and actually having those honest conversations in order for you to actually grow and move forward. So that for me has probably just been what I've been dealing with this week. There's not a lot of other stuff. A couple of my practitioners have been away. So it's been really good to chat to them to sort of see where they're at, to try and get them G'd up for the end of the year as well. I think that's probably been my week, to be honest.
So you haven't done much.
Nothing of great interest, to be honest. There's been plenty of stuff that's been happening. Met with practitioners.
Have you got your list there?
Huh?
Have you got your list there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. There's nothing amazingly exciting that I really want to talk about, to be honest. But I am actually starting to do lists. So there you go. That's step number one in the right direction. Lots of talking to staff this week. A lot of client stuff, trying to re-engage people through Snapchat. Tyson through Snapchat, me through Instagram, because I've been a little bit quiet lately. So trying to plan out exactly content that I can deliver to you guys to make it a little bit more valuable as well.
So if you have ideas, tell us. So if anyone has ideas, tell us.
Please.
What advice would you give to people, like, so in that situation you're talking about where you feel the need to be better in certain areas, like what advice would you give to people that either can't see it and they've got people that will tell them, or they can see it and they just don't want to move on it?
Well, identify what the purpose is. You have to have a purpose for change. So whether it's internally motivated or externally. So for example, some aspects of myself as a character have a no care type of approach and attitude. And even though that's not actually the way it is, it's just kind of a deflection. So establish the purpose, the reason for why you think you need to change, or why other people think there's aspects around your personality that you should change. Once you've established the purpose, then you can actually decide within yourself whether you actually then want to change. So there has to be a purpose and a reason. And yeah, if you don't see it, then you probably are blind. A lot of the time, you know it's there. It's just that you don't want to acknowledge it, to be honest. So that would be my advice.
So find the purpose, or get someone to tell you the purpose, so that you can motivate yourself towards that change to achieve that purpose or goal.
Yeah, 100%. But there is also a point where you can also be okay with sitting still.
Yeah.
Some people are just not wired that way, and you and I struggle at a lot of instances when we just sit back, reflect, and think, what the hell? Why isn't it working? Why don't they care? Why aren't they doing X, Y, and Z? And we've talked about how important those people are within an organisation, irrespective of their inability to say move forward or be honest or tell us what they think. And I think that's always the nature with dietitians in general, is to always be seeking and growing and wanting to change and do more and be better and blah, blah, blah. So I think that it's an anomaly to have anyone in dietetics really that doesn't want to always be better. So I think for a lot of us, it'll generally be a stress in themselves, which for me, I know it's been a protective mechanism to move forward past particular barriers that I've got, because I don't want to go back to that stressful hole. And I think at some stage, there's reasons for why people don't want to move forward or want to progress. It might be that they're scared to have their work-life balance taken away from them, or it could be relationship issues or something like that. So generally, there's a reason for why people don't want to progress, because human nature, we need to sort of be evolving and we need to change. Otherwise, we get stuck, and then that being stuck. Yeah, and it might just be, yeah, right, I'll just leave and go to a new job. So for us, it's really important to push our staff within their boundaries and try and get them to improve, because we know that human nature will be inclined for them to then want to move on just because they want to change. So instead of accepting change within an organisation and moving forward through that, we try and encourage to do that all the time. So within our company versus out. So that's my perspective on it.
Good. Sounds good to me. That'll be the end of Dietitian Life. But again, if you're a student, you're going in clinical placement, apply for the scholarship. To give you a bit of an idea, like, not only did someone get $2,500, but we've hired two and going to hire another one from the scholarship. That then none of them won, but we're going to hire them on staff, so they've got a job lined up before they even graduate. So be aware that even if you don't win, you could win. And there's two other ones that don't graduate till June that we are like locked. We want to hire them. We're going to create a role for them. So it's going to be 5 out of the 10 that
you'll get work experience guaranteed.
Yeah. And then so that's 5 out of the 10 that we interviewed as a short list we're going to hire on staff. So if that's not a reason to bloody apply, I don't know what is. You're lost.
So get on it.
Anyway, with that, see you next week. Peace.